Hey guys, Asher Racial Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today, my favorite kind of video, talking about some of my favorite epic champions inside all of Raid Shadow Legends. These are epics that if you pull them, you ought to know they're beasts. They're the best in class, doing a lot of things better than any legendary champion. Sometimes you have to go to mythicals to compare what some of these epic champions can do. You know what? Lately, they don't really release many like OP epics. It's a shame. It's a super shame. But the good news is they do sporadically still unleash one or two, maybe a year. And there's a good kind of bevy of epics, in the catalog that are just insane. A lot of them very undervalued by players out there. First off, want to just share, apropos of absolutely nothing, I watched Princess Bride with my son.
Totally, and in all other ways, inconceivable. Inconceivable!
Now, I'd seen it like way back in the day. It probably says a lot about me. I have no idea why. A movie like that, excuse me, but it was banned in my house growing up. I couldn't watch it. I don't even know why. It's like super age appropriate for any age. But anyway, I watched it with my kiddo, and oh my God, if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out, man. It's a really good freaking movie. So yeah, maybe Osama will sprinkle in some of those clips in this video.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
But man, if you haven't seen it, it's inconceivable.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's do this. I want to start with one of my absolute faves. Absolute faves. This dude is insane. Scramis. He looks like a freaking legendary. He's better than a lot of the free legendaries that they give us nowadays, right?
I was just wondering if you put me in the right house.
You were particularly difficult to place.
I mean, that's not saying much, is it? That's not saying much. Scramis is nasty. He's an HP-based champion. His stats don't, jump out the page at you. He does have HP in all battles, so you can use him, obviously, as an aura lead if you're lacking one anywhere. But his kit is beautiful. The synergy is just palpable. It's amazing here. He has an AoE on his effortless superiority on his A2. It's a 3-turn cooldown win book. Definitely worth booking this guy. You can use him early game, mid game, end game. You can use him in a variety of different builds, too. You can build him for damage. He has decent HP-based multipliers for kind of a control champion. You can build him tanky, build him as a stun set if you wanted to. In AoE, decrease the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. Also has a 60, make it 75% chance to place an AoE decrease attack, and then fills his champion's turn meter by 10% for each buff that has its duration decreased. So if there's 5 enemies, and they're all under 1 buff, just 1 buff on 5 enemies, you get a 50% turn meter fill. So 2 buffs is 100% turn meter fill on a 3-turn cooldown, which has the decreased attack for damage mitigation for everybody, and then he's got a provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, a provoke with a counterattack on himself, and a continuous heal. My man heals himself, he provokes himself. It's an AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, but he can get back to it so much faster because of the A2, because of all that turn meter he gets back. And then when they attack him, when they're provoked, they have no turn meter, right? Because they just used their turn attacking him. He's gonna counterattack, and he's gonna place a stun on him. 20%, make it a 30% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn if the target's turn meter is fully depleted by this skill. He's going to be stealing turn meter on his A1 as well. What a nasty control kit. I love him. He's tanky. He's awesome, dude. He's awesome. All right, next. Wow, Scramis. I could end the video right there. Holy mackerel. Inquisitor Shamil is insane. If you're annoyed by the head of Torment and Hydra, if you're annoyed by Fabian, who's dishing out more true fears than any champion in the history of the damn game, well, look no further than Inquisitor Shamil. If you like an epic champion that has 100% ignored defense potential on his A2, look no further. My favorite part about his instant cleanse is, well, that's it. It's instantaneous on all allies all the time, and it's off his passive with no cooldown. Straight up. Right? Straight up. Moreover, he can boost, the turn meter of the leader by 15%. Every cleanse that happens, he's insane. He's insane, right? He really is. A ton of damage and such just unique skill set on his passive and also his A1 ability, Inquisitor Shamil. Now, this next one I talk about all the time. Longtime viewers are probably sick of hearing me talk about this dude. He's an old school champion, but he's so special. It's Seeker. Inquisitor, by the way, you just want to build like a nuker. Savage, lethal gear. Even with the ignore defense, I still build him, by the way, in Savage or lethal. Some players do, some players don't on Inquisitor, because you can still, it's conditional on the A2A. In B, you can still take advantage of the ignore defense on his A1. However, if you don't want to go that route, just go with min-maxing the crit damage gear, right, on him. Okay, Seeker, man, the best turn meter booster in the game. Maybe with a couple like caveats there with mythicals and some other combos that you can have, but 30% turn meter boost is the standard, the gold, the platinum standard in Raid. He has it on a 3-turn cooldown with the extra turn. That extra turn on his 30% turn meter fill. Now, Nekmothar has that, right? He has that, but it's a 4-turn cooldown with the extra turn. He's got it on a 3. Seeker has it on a 3-turn cooldown with the extra turn. That's why Bat Eater was a thing for so long. Extra turn leads you into provokes. He has a cool passive too. You can throw him in a reflex set if you wanted to and get this down to a 1-turn cooldown. Like, that's insane. Impulse, reflex, speed gear on Seeker. He's the best turn meter booster still in Raid. At least you can make the case, right? He's not as good in the arena as a turn meter booster because his base speed isn't super fast. He doesn't bring any essential buff except for increased attack, right? A la Arbiter to the table, but like an Arbias, you know, like a mythical, like an amazing mythical brings increased accuracy too. But Seeker still is the standard bearer when it comes to turn meter, especially among epics. All right, next up, another old school. I'm going to sprinkle in some old schools, some new schools, and we got Vogoth, man. Vogoth is so nasty. Now, the last time I did a video like this, I included a few of the same champions, not everybody. Vogoth was one of the only repeats, like 3 or 4 I feel like have to be here on the list. I did a video like this about a year ago. In case I missed anybody who you love, odds are I probably mentioned them on that video. I'll try to remember to link it for you guys in the description below. But I got some comments about Vogoth, like,
Ash, he's not that unique. Grazer Iron Gut does that too.
Because they are jealous.
and by does that, they mean healing off of his passive. Let me tell you, Grazer Iron Gut is better champion than Vogoth. You heard it here first, right? In terms of the entirety of his kit. But in terms of the healing, Grazer is a big, thick, defense-based champion, right? He's not taking as much damage. Ergo, the damage he receives is far less. Ergo, the heal is far less. Vogoth, some of the magic behind his heals is because he's not that tanky. I mean, he's not super squishy, but he can take some damage and heal everybody else on the team, right? So, insanely good healer. Moreover, Vogoth is just, to me, in my mind, he's a top 10 epic in the game. You can put him in a curing set to get more heal out of him, or you can just build him tanky, right? Just like straight up bolster set if you wanted to. His HP doesn't scale that well, but a shield set, something like that. He has a triple hitter on his A1, and he has this Wave of Revulsion. It's a great AoE provoke ability. 3-turn cooldown. The provoke itself is only a 75%, but with the decreased attack, it's still a nasty ability. I still use Vogoth all the time, and you should too. Okay, another repeat is going to be probably the most obvious on the list. We can be in and out quickly here on this one because it's Seir, because she has Karma Burn, because she's still the best epic nuker in the game. And she's still an underrated nuker even in the arena. This is a super buff heavy meta right now. Sure, protection is a mitigating factor there, and she's not like an arena stud, but you can use her anywhere, and I'd put her toe to toe against any other. She does require some sort of a setup, but in terms of speed farming, I mean, she's it, right? She is it. Seir reset teams are still probably the most popular speed farming strategy in all of Raid Shadow Legends, just in terms of the time that she saved us. I mean, how could she not make the list, right? How could she not? All right, out nuking like most. You have to get up to like Siegfried level to be on the same level of Seir in terms of a raw damage, especially on wave content. All right, next up is, we don't have to go far. We could stay in sacred order because a guy that I didn't include on the list, and I should have on the first video, year and a half ago, was Deke. Man, I don't give Deke enough love. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a Stag Knight guy, who's actually next on the list. So I'm a Stag Knight guy. Not to say that he's any better or worse than Deke. They're quite different. They're the same, but they're different.
But still same.
But Deke is unique, and he belongs on the list. Sure, he's got the leech on the A1. He's got speed in all battles. Fantastic aura, especially for an epic. But, I mean, you guys already know the magic of Deke, right? He's got that AoE decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. but he's also got the extra turn. And the extra turn is the magic. It's that magic kind of Energizer bunny that's just like rolling around somewhere inside these champions. They see the bunny somewhere in there? Just keeping things churning, keeping the uptime on the debuffs and the buffs, right? Keeping those close to 100%, and that is a magical thing when you can get that. When you can get all the essential buffs and debuffs in this game up on your allies or on the enemies at all times, that's when this game starts really rocking. That's where you set new PRs, new records, you clear previous plateaus in this game, right? Deke has that ability. Fantastic champion. All right, I already ruined it here. But good old Stag Knight. Man, I love everything about Stag Knight. I even love the visuals. Him and Miscreated Monster might be my favorite visually, aesthetically pleasing epic champions in the game. Although I kind of like a lot of them, huh? Kind of like a lot of them. I like the Red Lady too. Red Lady could be in this on this list. She's not, but I'll give her an honorable after Stag Knight. Why is Stag Knight so unique? First of all, he's tanky as all hell. 21k on the base HP. That makes him viable. Again, in a shield or a bolster set if you need it on your team. Otherwise, he can be a damage dealer. This guy deals a sneaky amount of damage as well. And his speed. 107 speed makes him one of the faster epics, especially for a debuffer. You don't see that too often. Compare him like a Duck the Pierced or something like that. I mean, I think Duck the Pierced, I just bit my tongue. Duck. I think he's around 97 speed. So you're rocking 10 more additional speed. That's insane. He's going to AoE decrease defense, decrease attack on the same ability. It's 95%, but with Sniper Mastery, it's 100%. And it's nasty to have both those abilities on a 3-turn cooldown. He's got a decreased speed. Each hit with an independent 50% chance when booked. That's very, very, very dependable for a decreased speed. One of the most important. Actually, let's look at it this way. 3 of the most essential debuffs in the game, Stag Knight has them at a very dependable land rate. It's a super simple kit, but what makes him even more unique is being the first champion in the entire game of Raid Shadow Legends to introduce increased accuracy. Increased accuracy places an increased accuracy big version buff on an ally for 1 turn every time an ally has a debuff resisted by an enemy. This is the passive that never gets enough love because you barely notice it. People don't notice resist that often. You ever notice that or ever not notice that? But we don't notice oftentimes, especially outside the arena, especially like on an auto battle, you just don't know. But sometimes when you run Stag Knight enough, you just start noticing, oh yeah, look at that. Increase accuracy, increase accuracy, increase accuracy. Super helpful. If you ever slouch on accuracy, he's got you covered, right? I like that passive too. So Stag Knight, next up. This is one of my faves. This is another guy who just doesn't get enough love in my opinion. And it's actually Cryodin of the Blue, or the Blue, excuse me. Cryodin the Blue. First of all, he looks cool. Really awesome champion. Very good for Fire Rate hard, right? But very good at control and support. He's a very unique champion because he has a triple hitter on his A1, right? Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a freeze. That's insane for an A1. For an A1. On his A2, Razor Hail. It's a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies not once, but twice. Each hit has a 65% chance of placing a freeze. Man, Faction Wars, hard mode, place 15 freezes. Cryodin's got you covered. Beautiful, beautiful. But wave control anywhere, or using him as a controller in Dark Fae, or anything like that. Put him in triple perception, you're going to be looking good, and put him in speed gear, whatever. I say speed gear because check out his Blessing of the Blue. This is kind of one of those like Ragash-like abilities, right? Where he's got a very nifty A2, a lot of control, a lot of utility here in his kit, triple hitter on his A1, and then they just throw on an awesome increased speed with turn meter fill on everybody. The only downside is a 4-turn cooldown when booked, but still, what a great addition to his kit. Big version increased speed with a turn meter boost on all allies. Fantastic. Fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each freeze debuff placed by this champion. Now, this is important. There's more than meets the eye on Snow Dancer passive because this mitigates the fact that this is a 4-turn cooldown, right? Oh my God, I was wrong. It's a 3-turn cooldown? It's a 3-turn cooldown? Oh my God. I didn't even realize that. Did they add that?
You know, this is very advanced magic, well beyond the ordinary wizarding level.
This is insane. I could have sworn it was 4. So now he has all this turn meter. This dude's nasty. This dude's nasty. Cryodin the Blue, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Next up, we've got Little Ampum. Little Ampum. I love Ampum, man. I think he's still the best hexer in the game. First of all, triple hitter on his A1, triple hitter on his A2. He's got hexes for days. He's increasing the duration of hexes as well. He and Thylesia are my favorite hex epics in the game, and they can really stand toe-to-toe with most legendaries or mythicals in the game. This hex blood, too, is activating poisons on enemies under hex whenever allies receive damage. That can add up. Ampum always surprises me. I bring him in for the hex and the triple hitters on both skills. And then he always astounds me with his damage as well. Super cool design, awesome champion. Ampum, he's really, really special. Now let's just get the most obvious out of the way. By the way, I would add Demitha, and she probably belongs on the list. Honorable mention Demitha. But they just added a champion with basically the same skill, only a little bit better in this last update. But either way, Demitha's insane. She's very, very good. But Geo. Let's be real here. Geo, we know Geomancer. He's slow. His base stats suck. They really do. Like, look how bad his base stats are. Shows that that's not all there is to a champion, right? But man, this Stone Guard with the HP burn, the 3-turn weaken, the 3-turn burn on the 3-turn cooldown with that reflect damage. Listen, the rest of his kit's good too. We all know it's stealing all, removing all buffs, or potentially stealing them. All very, very good. The AoE, the decreased accuracy, but come on. He's the boss killer in Raid Shadow Legends with that amazing Stone Guard passive. All right, 3 more rapid fire for you guys because actually I got to pick up my kid from school. so here we go. Rector Drath. I'm adding Rector to the list. She's my favorite. She's my favorite. Now, I would add Godseeker and Neri to the list because she's got an awesome passive. She's a unique reviver. I probably should, right? Even though there are revivers like her now in the game, either a White Queen Ancora or, but with a revive on death with that skill, let's just put Rector and let's put the big 3. Rector Drath with all those heals in the perfect veil, right? You can get perfect veils from legendaries, right? We have Glaciad, we have Duchess, but to get a great perfect veiler with the healing potential that Rector Drath has, you gotta look at Star Sage freaking Galathyr, you know, or a Truoth, you know? There's not many, and she's very good. By far the best epic perfect veiler. And then Godseeker and Neri, of course, they're the big 3 in my mind. I don't think anybody really even comes close, right? When we talk about revivers and epics, the double revive potential with the reset on Godseeker and Neri with a great A2. Ursula having probably just the best AoE revive in terms of survivability. And I guess, who am I kidding here? If I'm going to make a big 3, then I'd probably even put Tagore on there over one of those other 3. You guys can choose who, but Tagore too, right? These 4 revivers, Tagore, Godseeker, Rector, and Ursula, they're built different and they're better than most legendary revivers. That's how good they are.
Damn! That is good!
Tagore with the shield, the increased speed, the whole 9, man. Very good. Very good. And Rector with all those heals. She's insane. And they fixed up her animation. She's not slow anymore, which I love. Doom Priest. Listen, yes, there is a champion called Tuanarok. There's also a champion called Maud, High Mother Maud, but not quite Doom Priest. Doom Priest is so simple. You don't even care about her A2. I mean, she does have an increased attack on all allies. That's good, right? But she has nothing else going for her at all. She has the most bizarre little aura, force speed, force ally speed, whatever, but bolster. You get the heals and the cleanse every turn. You want to put her in a relentless set, watch back, or sit back and watch, I guess, and you'll have one of the best cleansers in the game. She's so good in like every event dungeon. She's still just the quintessential cleanser in the game. And the heals, too, right? Those heals add up, especially in that relentless set, as I mentioned. All right, we have 1 left on the list. And it's actually going to be another Sylvan Watcher. There's so many others who probably could be on this list. But Mist Rider Dathi, right? This guy's great. In a similar way to the reason that Deacon is on this list. Mist Rider has a ton of damage. More damage than Deacon, right? He's like really a nuker built into a debuffer. And he brings his own buffs with the extra turn. But not just the extra turn on his increased accuracy, increased attack. By the way, the increased accuracy alleviates the accuracy necessity on him a bit, which allows you to build him even more like a nuker, right? He has a chance of extra turn on his A1 and on his A2. Grants an extra turn if decreased defense is placed on all enemies by this skill. So he has extra turn guaranteed on the A3, potential on the A2, and a smaller potential on the A1. You can just start snowballing all these extra turns, all this damage, and the decreased defense. He's a debuffer, he's an insanely good damage dealer, and he's an extra turn machine. So there you go, guys. These are unique epic champions who I absolutely love. Who did I snub? Who doesn't belong on the list? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do another one of these in 2026. Thanks for watching till the end. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.